Let us read something. Let the yogin practice continually union with the self, sitting apart and alone, with all desire and idea of possession banished from his mind. Self-controlled in his whole being and consciousness. Now, nothing of this kind happening with Savitri. You see, Savitri's yoga is of a different kind, but it is the traditional yoga. See, holding the body, head, and neck erect, straight, motionless, the vision drawn in and fixed between the eyebrows. So you are looking only through this one, Trataka. Free from fear and the vow of brahmacharya, celibacy. Observe the whole control mentality turn to me. That is what Krishna is telling in the Gita to Arjuna. On the battlefield, look, this is what you have to do, Mr. Arjuna. You see. And he is talking of vow of brahmacharya, vow of celibacy. In the case of Savitri, she is there sleeping with her husband there. You see. And her husband is embracing her sometimes, and she is quivering with joy. So this is a different case altogether, you see. Observe the whole controlled mentality. Turn to me, there is Krishna. He must be firm in yoga, wholly given up to me. Thus always putting himself in yoga by control of his mind. In the case of Savitri, that doesn't happen. It happens differently because he has come from the soul now, you see. Yogin attained the supreme peace of nirvana. Well, Savitri is of course going to attain nirvana, but she is not going to merge into nirvana. Next canto will see that, you see. Yoga destroys all sorrow, etc., etc. The message of the Gita. This is from Sri Aurobindo's own presentation of the Gita, you see. This way, without wavering from the path, steady like a flame and fixed ever in the self of knowledge, proceeds the yogin. Self, he lives and acts in it. Such a yogin is dear to me. That is what the Krishna is telling to Arjuna on the battlefield. Well, this is a long description of the yoga as described by one of the saints of India, Naneshwar, 13th century and 800 years ago. He has written a big commentary on the Gita, and on the passage of the Kundalini which is there in the Gita, that what we have just read, he is now making an elaborate comment about the Kundalini Yoga. Will not go to that. I think I have sent these messages already part. Or anyway, they will come on the web. So, Naneshwar is describing the complete aspect of Kundalini Yoga. He says, for instance, here, only at times may visit there, by the waters, swans or female cranes, or with an occasional lonely cry, cuckoo birds. But if the peacocks should prefer to come and stay in the vicinity, it may be quite all right and acceptable. All the subtle sounds come to you. When the subtle centers open, all the subtle faculties open out, you see. Somewhere there, hidden and cloistered, may exist an anchorized small center or a little fane of Shiva, a small little temple of Shiva is there, what you will see. In the surrounding, the aspirant should select a good, comfortable spot for doing meditation, all that. Such a yogin soon gets distant sight, television, and begins to see things that are far away, even beyond the other shore of the sea. New drishti has opened out, faculty. He can hear different sounds that is. In fact, we have got this long description of that thing in Canto 14 of the second book, the book of the Tarot, the world soul. That Kundalini, the mother of the worlds, in imperial greatness and glow, the majesty of the Lord of Consciousness himself. She is the one who takes care of the shoot that has sprung up from the little seed, the seed that bears itself the whole cosmos. Well, and then how the yogin advances and sees many, many things and all that. A complete description is there, Naneshwari. In the 6th chapter of Jnaneshwari, in 4 sections, he has described all these things. Such is the outstanding siddhi you get, and with it you start discovering the marvelous riches of the self, Atma Riddhi. But we are not along that line. Our path is different. It's not Kundalini for the sake of Kundalini. It is incidental. It has to open out in a certain different pursuit. Yeah. Savitri is describing the 7 centers, 7 folds, 7 lotuses, 7 jewels, 7 suns in great detail. All is created by the Supreme Goddess. His emphasis is on the Shakti. The Supreme and original Mahashakti. He says the original power, no? What we got in Savitri, which is now the diffusions. All proceeds from her, all lives by her, all lives in her, even as she lives in all. All wisdom and knowledge are her wisdom and knowledge. All power is her power. All will and force, her will and force. All action is her action. All movement, her movement. All beings are portions of the power of existence. Well, it is she then who is operating. 7 times 7 are the planes of the Supreme Goddess. He has described who the Supreme Goddess is first. And now the details. 7 times 7 are the planes of the Supreme Goddess. The steps of ascent and descent of the divine, transcendent and universal Adya Shakti, the first purpose. Steps of 7 steps of descent, 7 steps of ascent. They rush into each other. Climbing of 7 steps, climbing down 7 steps. They rushed into each other. 7 times 7, 49. In other words, each center has an element of other 6. They are not totally in isolation. This is not only by itself. It also has something of this, something of this, something of this, something of this, though in lower proportions. And then it becomes 7 into 7, 49. So 7 into 7, 49, add to that 1 who is controlling, that is 50. 49 into plus 1, 50. Twice of that, ascent and descent, 100. That is the meaning of 100. 7 into 7, the centers of activity in the 1 makes 50, and up and down, the 2 triangles intersecting and joining into each other, that makes 100. So 7 to symbol is basically that 100, you see. Yes. Above are the 7, or the thrice 7 supreme planes of Satchit Ananda, thrice supreme planes of Satchitananda. In between are the 7 planes of the divine truth and vastness, Mahat Brahma. In the transcendent itself, there are divisions. Above, Satchitananda. In between, that is, in the world of supermind. Below are the thrice 7 steps of ascent and descent into the evolutionary world of earth existence. These 3 gradations, what is described here, 3, Satchitananda, Mahat, and below. These 3 gradations are successively supermind or truth mind, with its 7 suns. So the supermind has 7 suns. And then life has 7 lotuses. So 7 suns of supermind, 7 lotuses of life, and 7 jewels of earth, of matter. 7 jewels of matter, 7 lotuses of life, 7 suns of supermind. Thrice 7. The 7 lotuses of life, that is what we have just now described here. See, the 7 lotuses are the 7 chakras of the tantric tradition, descending and ascending from mind, Sahasrara, Ajna, Vishuddha, Anahat. this. Anad. That is the seven chakras. That takes up life through life in force, Manipura, Swadhisthana, down to life involved in matter, Muladhara. So all the three regions are covered by that. You see. Mind, life, and matter. Now, of these seven life centers, what he calls the lotuses, life centers, are themselves centers of truth in life, even as the seven suns are each a flaming truth of supermind. So, seven suns are of supermind, seven lotuses are of life, of prana. You see. But these lotuses have been veiled, closed, shut into their own occult energies by the ignorance. We are not aware of them. Hence the obscurity, falsehood, death, suffering of our existence, because they are closed. So if you open them out, then there will be no more death for you. These, now the seven jewels. We have described seven suns, seven lotuses, now seven jewels of matter. These jewel centers of the Earth Mother are seven luminous jewel hearts of truth in substance, in matter. Seven, but they have been imprisoned in darkness, fossilized in immobility, veiled, closed, shut into their own occult energy. In all our centers, mental suns, the seven suns of supermind, the seven lotuses of life, the seven jewels of matter, they are all closed. To liberate all these powers by the luminous and flaming descent of the suns of the supermind and release the eighth sun of the hidden in the earth, in the darkness of the inconscience, in the cavern of Vala and Punish, this is the first step toward the restoration of the Earth Mother to her own divinity and the existence of its native light, truth, life, and immaculate Ananda. Now, if you want to really describe what is Savitri, Shivanu's epic, it is in this sentence.
This is the big one of the ground.
This is the jnana. Yeah. This is all Savitri is here. Everything is here of Savitri. To liberate all these powers with the luminous, flaming descent of the suns of supermind. And release the eighth sun. Now this is what I'll do. Eighth sun of truth hidden in the earth. We'll talk about that. In the darkness of the inconscious, the eighth sun is, seven suns are open. Eighth sun is hidden. In the cavern of Vala and Punish. This is the first step toward the restoration of the Earth Mother to her own divinity and earth existence, to its native light, truth, life, bliss, immaculate Ananda, all that.
Sun is Martanda.
Yeah, I'll come to that, Martha. This eighth sun of truth hidden in the earth. Aditi, the divine mother, the mother of the gods, she has got 8 sons. 7 sons she has taken to the heavens, and 8th son she has left here on the earth. She has left the 8th son here on the earth, and that 8th son is called Martanda. Martanda, well, if I may say so, Martya and the mortal egg. It is mortal egg. It is that she has left here on the earth. Martya and she has left him here. Because it is he who has to come up and rise to all the 7 sons. So that way Martanda is the soul of evolution of the earth, climbing up from the inconscience up to the supermind level. This is the Vedic description. This Martanda is described in the Rig Veda. Aditi has left her 8th son on the earth and took away the 7 sons to heaven. She is a very clever lady. So she has taken away 8 sons there and they are happy in the Sachidananda, but the 8th son she has left here. He is the soul of evolution. It is he who has to come up from inconscience and rise to the superconscience, the soul of evolution. In the language of the tale of Savitri, this Martanda is Satyavan. This Martanda is Satyavan. Satyavan is the one who is residing here in the earth right from the beginning. He is in a grip of death, as what we have got. Satyavan is in a grip of death. And Savitri's purpose is to release that grip of death and bring him up in the process of evolution. So we can say that the 8th son is actually Satyavan himself in the story of Savitri. In other words, because this 8th son is described in the Veda, in the Rig Veda, I got the verse also, it is described in the Rig Veda. It means that the essence of the story of Savitri is present in the Veda. Is present in the Veda. Sri Aurobindo says that it belongs to the Vedic tradition. The tale of Savitri belongs to the Vedic tradition. It is from this angle. You have to see from a different angle, not the way it is written there, but in terms of the essence, in terms of its significance, in terms of its meaning, it is present already in the Veda. The 8th son has to come up, the evolution has to come up, has to rise to the supramental sun. Has to rise to the supramental. That is the story of evolution described by saying 8th son was led by Aditi on the earth. Now please come up. Now Aditi has done her job, but she has not taken enough care of him. How he is to come? How he is to come? Somebody else has to say, look, I will come down here upon earth, take a mortal birth like Savitri and bring her up. Bring her up. She has to come up as Savitri and then bring her up. Of himself alone, he cannot. Savitri has to release that grip of death which is there on his soul, and then only he can come up, you see. So that is the story of Savitri. Actually, in the mother story of creation, the 4 powers went very far away from their divine origin and they became opposite, they became hostile. Consciousness became inconscience, bliss became suffering, pain, life became death, truth became falsehood. They went so far away. When the separation took place away and the horror of separation was seen, the horror of separation was seen. The mother uses the phrase, the horror of separation was seen from the divine source. Then the divine plunged into that void, into that shunya. The divine plunged into that void. That divine plunged into that void, that is the first avatar, she says, and he is Satyavan. He is Satyavan who has plunged into that void, and it is he now who has to come up with. When the horror of separation was seen, the divine himself plunged into the void, and it is he, because of his presence there, now things are happening, because of work of Savitri. Since the beginning of this creation, whenever and wherever there was a possibility of manifestation, I was there. She has been doing all along, right? Since the beginning of the creation. You see that. She has been doing that toilsome work all along the thing. So this Martanda, 7th son, the horror of separation, the plunge the divine into the void, they are essentially the same thing. They are not really separate in terms of the significance of the stories. So the Vedic knowledge of the divine manifestation was there. How it was going to happen, that modus operandi, those details, they were not there. They had to be worked out by successive appearance of avatars, by the successive births of Savitri. He says later on, Savitri herself, the divine tells to Savitri, by many human births will make this world a life divine. Many human births, you see. Many human births. So this is the Martanda.
May I ask a question?
Pardon?
Savitri, the soul opens first, and the soul opens first, and then the power descends.
Yes.
Can it also be that the power descends before the soul opens?
Before soul opens?
Is it possible?
No, it will be disastrous. It will be disastrous, you see. Yeah. Because if the base is not ready, if all your degenerate things, if they start rising up,
But it's possible in the old yoga.
they start, that is the danger of the conventional Kundalini yoga.
Yes, but it doesn't come
No,
from the top
no.
if the soul is not open.
Yeah. Well, rather, it should not, it is good, it is a grace that it doesn't come by itself like that.
But some chakras could be opened.
Something has to, see, when you are making an effort and forcing it to come down without that preparation, then it is dangerous. In the case of Savitri, what has happened is she has first found her soul and then things have opened out. So there is a total safety in her case.
Yeah, but in case one concentrate, I don't know on this topic, in case the heart center, for example, opens up before the soul is ready, or some other center opens.
Unless he has got the hand of protection somewhere,
It doesn't happen.
it is dangerous for him. Maybe there is a guru who is guarding him, watching him and protecting him, or somebody else. Or maybe his psychic is fully open and taking care of all those things. If that is not there and if this comes, then all that degenerate things which is there within you, subconscious, etc., if they start rising, gone. You get lost. Your yoga suffers. Yoga suffers. It is dangerous. That is why Shivandu says, Mother also says always, go with a sunlit path. Sunlit path. Open first your psychic being, it is that which will you, or if you have got a guru, entirely go by him, trust him, put all your faith in him, and he will take full protection of you. That is important. For the case of the individual, if the psychic has opened out, then he is really on the sunlit path. Psychic will take it. Because the whole physical nature, mental, vital nature is full of wrong things, degenerate things, hostile things. And if the power comes directly there and they surge up, it can be very dangerous. He can be a yogi who has lost his way. And not that there are no examples in the spiritual history. There are people who have lost their way because of that kind of thing. People are there, they got a kind of ambition, I want this, I want that, etc., etc. The divine power comes and you get drifted away, you get lost. So the purification is important, and the final purification comes with the psychic fire, Agni. When that is burning fully, it is Agni who purifies all the dross.
And another question is the psychic, and there's also the cosmic consciousness here.
Yes.
So this can also open out,
Yeah.
which Rabbi says you can concentrate here or here.
That depends upon the individual.
Right. Depends on the individual.
It depends on you don't have to force. You have to see which opens out more easily for in your case.
But if this opens,
Huh.
can be the cosmic consciousness open and the heart center, the
It doesn't matter. You see, when it starts operating, it comes down, percolates, descent, like that. Yeah. You don't have to force them.
No, but I'm talking because I know somebody.
Yeah.
And this sector is
He's open.
probably, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, but not this one.
That should not matter. He should not be in a hurry for that kind of thing. See, his personal effort, if it has opened by itself like that, he should not stop that. He should not stop that. His personal effort is to see that this opens out, the psychic centers opens out, comes forward in all his activities, in all his movements, interactions, relationships. It is that which comes out. And it is that slowly which will govern your habits, your nature, your thoughts and things like that. And then when that thing comes down and down, it works for you. In other words, after this has opened out, there is a long preparation, inner preparation of nature to receive what is coming down. What is coming down? Long preparation is there involved. See, we are not made of one metal. We are an alloy of 100 things, you see.